with that, but right now it's pre-programmed with our numbers. And you end up with, when you do all these, one of the things that it'll do when you do all of these inputs is it'll figure out how many grams per kilogram of electrolyte come from the solvent, the additive, and the salt, which is then fed later into the materials flows for the battery manufacturing. So again, you got this whole electrolyte manufacturing process that you can make all kinds of changes to. So cathode page is very similar. One thing I want to point out on the cathode side is that it's currently pulling from the salt page. So we're in cathode salt, we're saying this is how you make nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, etc. And you can do all your inputs for that, and it'll feed into the cathode page. But wait, I don't want to do that. I want to just purchase salt. And whatever the salt price is in the, or I'm sorry, now I'm saying I'm manufacturing my own salt, so it's pulling from the salt page. But I don't want that. I'm going to say I'm going to purchase salt. So I'm not, say, put no in manufacturing salt. Now it's just going to pull the salt prices from the cost inputs page. Same thing with manufacturing precursors. So if I'm the cathode maker, I can say, yes, I'm manufacturing, and I'll use, and therefore it will use the numbers from this model. Or I can say no, and it will pull the cost inputs of precursor material. So let me just quickly show you the, let me put these back to yes, just so they're pulling from the right thing. So now we've got essentially two parts of the cathode page. One is making the precursor. Second, so that's the, precursor, sorry. Precursor is putting, in NMC, for instance, putting the nickel, the manganese, and the cobalt together. And this, and then it ends up with a ternary molecule, which is then sent to the cathode plant. And then we've got the cathodes. Now we've broken down the cathodes by cathode material. We call high nickel content, that's the 811, 622, and NCA. Below that is low to medium nickel content, which is essentially going to be, I guess it's NMC 111. And then we go to the there's a LFP cathode powder model here, process stages. Below that is LCO, and I think that's everything. So you're looking at cathode production by essentially for each type of cathode. Okay, and then there was one other thing that I wanted to show, but I'm going to do it on the battery manufacturing stage. So all of these feed into the battery manufacturing page, and this one is very extensive. So again, we've got this this kind of navigation shortcut here. I want to go to the vacuum drying step and hit go, and it'll take me directly to there, because otherwise you're looking at an enormous, I'll just show you the vastness of this model. You get lost when you're trying to click through to it. So that's just a quick navigation tool. But you start with, let's just start here. You can choose pouch. You're choosing pouch at the dashboard page, but it's going to go through all the pouch steps. But these initial steps are universal until you get to step 8. Now it's pouch only. So if you've selected cylindrical, it's going to skip over these steps. But if you selected pouch, it'll include those. And then there's the same ones for cylindrical prismatic. So now if you've selected cylindrical or prismatic, it'll skip those pouch ones and pick up here. There's a couple of drop downs in here, and I want to show you the most important ones. You get to choose your binder. Right now we've only got 2 in there, but we're trying to look into alternative binders. But you also get to choose your solvent, which in almost all cases is NMP, but you get to play around with that too. You can choose hexanol, IPA, or others. The other most important thing here is down here on cell D108. If you're only interested in how much it costs to make a battery, and you don't want to be figuring out all of those details into making the cathode, you can just choose here at D108 and say, you know what, I don't want to be importing from our cathode tab. I just want to show, I'm going to input my own price for cathode material. So I'm going to put yes. And then in this yellow box on E110, I happen to know that as a battery manufacturer, I spend 29 bucks per kilogram for my cathode. Everything recalculates according to that. If you say no, then it pulls from the cathode page. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. So that's the battery manufacturing tab. You also have at the top here, you can select your inputs for real estate costs, how much you're paying for your real estate loan, the size of your facility, and then that'll determine that real estate cost per kilowatt hour. And by real estate, I mean the land and the construction of the building. These tables here are just, again, they're showing just summaries of the results based on the inputs that are put in here. And also, this is where you put in sales tax, import tax. You can play around with those. They can vary dramatically. We're putting very conservative numbers for taxes, but that's fine. The gross margin is based on our inputs, based on a basket of profit margins of similar companies as well as other battery companies. This is the cell manufacturer gross margin. So right now it's pulling from that basket that we update with new financial information with each new version of the cost model. But you can also say, you know what, I think that well, it's not letting me now, but you go in here and you say, you know what, I don't trust that basket. I know that my company makes 25% margin. Probably it's going to be less than that, but you get to choose that, yes, and then it'll give you an input box to that will allow you to. Let me just see if I make this bigger. It's not working. We'll get that fixed. But you can put in your own profit margin. So all of that will then feed into the dashboard where you're able to get a quick understanding of where these prices are now.